What's going on, Geeks and Geekettes? It's a very special edition of the Countdown to the Geekcast. My name is Ted, aka Steady, and this is going to be our Argylle instant reaction video. Joining me is the one and only Brian Ortiz.
Hello, everybody.
And last but definitely not least, Raymond Terrazas. What's going on, sir?
What's going on, guys?
Like I mentioned, this is going to be our Argylle instant reaction video. We just got out of the movie, and we have a lot to say about it, but it's all going to be non-spoilery territory, so you do not have to worry about spoilers. And right now, we're just going to get into it. Brian, we did a little quick video reaction when we walked out, but once again, give us your instant take. How did you feel coming out of the theater?
I personally had a blast. It's everything that I wanted out of a Matthew Vaughn project. Like I told you, I think the best way to describe it for anyone who's interested, it was like a very high fantasy cotton candy action film is the way that I describe it, with popping colors, insane sequences, things that you have never seen before. And sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, depending on your, how much you like Matthew Vaughn. But the script is out there. The actors are killing it. They're really putting in a lot of work, especially in those action sequences. And I had a lot of fun. I love a good movie that it knows what it is. It just drives through it. Anytime there was an action set piece, I was here for it. And I also love seeing a movie led by Bryce Dallas Howard and Sam Rockwell, two people that I don't get to see as often as leads in things anymore, as much as I would like. They're still working, obviously, but I don't get to see them up front. And to have them hold this entire movie on their shoulders and running around and kicking butt and doing awesome things, I couldn't have been happier. I could not have been happier. Also, I said it again, Bryce Dallas Howard as an action hero, we have been denied for too long, world. We have been denied too long. That woman is outstanding. She really just nailed it, and I loved watching her the entire time. I just had a blast seeing what she could pull off, and you know what? She pulled it all off. God bless you, Bryce Dallas Howard. I love you. This little boy from San Antonio, Texas loves you. Great job.
This film is filled with a stacked cast, everybody from Cavill, Samuel Jackson, Bryce, you mentioned, Sam Rockwell, John Cena, Dua Lipa. I mean, the list goes on. Retro Raid, tell us, man, your instant thoughts coming out of the theater.
It was a great movie. Seeing Apple going into not just doing shows for their network and actually being a part of actual movies now in theaters, I like where they're going. And Dallas Howard is like her dad. The apple don't fall too far from the tree. You've got her directing Mandalorian. You got her doing action movies, just like her dad. Rockwell, the chemistry between the two are great. My wife came out of this movie happy. She loved it. She was laughing. Hey, when the wife is happy, we're happy. Good movie. Definitely good movie.
It's wildly entertaining. If you've watched Matthew Vaughn's any of his Kingsman movies, you're going to get a great feel and understanding for what you're going to get in this movie. It's a lot of action. It is a bit campy, more than I anticipated, but that's not a knock on the film. I think once you lean into that as an audience goer, then you're going to have a lot more fun with it. So expect the campiness, and it's going to be good for you. And one thing that it really surprised me, this is not a spoiler, but the amount of plot twists in this movie. I think it's a great spy action film. It keeps you guessing a lot of the times. I love movies that keep you guessing on not only who can you trust, but what is real or what's believable. And I love that this film is asking those questions at multiple points in this movie. So you're always sort of wondering, you're on the edge of your seat, and I think it's fantastic. Comedy is great. I'm a huge Sam Rockwell fan. I've loved him since Matchstick Men. He was just so amazing in that. The Green Mile, he's fantastic in The Green Mile. I mean,
so good.
Oh my God, he's just incredible.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I love him in that one.
Oh yeah,
I'm so happy to see him in this movie, and doing something very, very different. He's not the type of slow-mo action superstar.
Yeah.
But he's getting to, spread his wings a little bit, do some different stuff. I feel like he did a lot of the choreography. in the fight scenes. At least it looked like, he was doing
It looked
at
like
least
him,
the
yeah.
majority of them. So kudos to Sam Rockwell and Brian. Final thoughts on this movie? Anything else?
Yeah, again, one of the greatest strengths of this film, I think, that everyone will appreciate is the contradictory nature of all the casting that they did, and that's one of the
Oh
fun
yeah.
things to watch. Is the film itself is very heightened. They're stylistically, design wise. I prepare yourself that this movie feels like a cheesy spy novel when you're reading it. This looks like that came to life across the board. So visually and tonally, you kind of get that feel, which is really kind of fun. And then you have these actors who you don't expect to see do roles. Like Sam Rockwell is fighting on a level that I see like in Captain America. And I'm just like, my God, I know he's in Marvel. We didn't let him see him do this, So he was killer. Bryce Dallas Howard, not to mention like Bryan Cranston,
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hare. All these people are doing things you never would have imagined. And you have the nature of the story is very funny because you have the people who are action heroes like Henry Cavill and John Cena doing one thing, but then you get to see these actors and actresses who don't get to shine like this really show us something different. And I loved every minute of watching them do that on screen. I couldn't get enough of it. And that's the kind of comedy action film that we need, and it has to be huge. It has to be big budget because that makes it funnier the more serious they take it. And these actors and actresses are just nailing it. So God bless them for all doing well. Overall, I had an absolute blast. The only thing I would say probably is, like I told you, probably could be 20 minutes shorter. Just pick up the pacing and tempo a little bit. But otherwise, in that, action set pieces, freaking fantastic. Casting, fantastic. Everyone's just having a blast. Get your popcorn, get your date, go in there, laugh, enjoy Argylle for exactly what it is.
Absolutely. We're gonna get to our Geekcast ratings here in just a minute, but Retro Ray, any final thoughts on the film, good or bad?
No, it definitely was a great movie to watch. Entertaining. It's a movie that you can watch in the theaters or some Saturday or Sunday. You can sit down on the couch, watch the movie, have some popcorn, enjoy it. Takes you away from the world. Samuel Jackson too. I completely forgot about Samuel Jackson. He was freaking hilarious as well. I mean, we're used to seeing him as Nick Fury, but he pulled in this one is definitely his acting chops are great. I mean, you can't.
Did he even curse in this movie? Now that I think
Not
about
once.
it, I don't.
Yeah.
Wow, maybe that's
Yeah.
what.
Yeah, that's why you were
I felt
thrown
a
off the
little
whole
off.
movie. You said something like the target feels weird on this movie. It's because he didn't cuss. There's your problem. There's your problem.
Oh my God, yeah. Sorry, Ray. Go ahead, man.
No, that's exactly kind of what I was talking about. You didn't, because we're used to seeing a certain Samuel Jackson in almost every movie, and him not cussing. I'm wondering how hard was it for him. You know what I mean? Since he's used to doing that constantly in movies to certain things, trying not to. You know what I mean? Did
Yeah.
they have a swear jar there to say, "Hey, you cussed," or you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely movie you want to watch and enjoy with the family. To kill the night away.
I think
Absolutely.
one of the best things too is that Matthew Vaughn, speaking of Samuel Jackson, likes to use the same cast members, and so you see a lot of familiar faces that have shown up in various Kingsman things, and that always yields a good product, in my opinion, because they know how to work with one another, they have a rapport, and clearly the people who have been on this train before have a rapport. So I'm fingers crossed. I'm hoping when we get like the next Kingsman's movies, we start seeing people like Bryce Dallas Howard show up.
Oh yeah.
Or freaking Sam Rockwell shows up, because now that these people are in his world and they've proven that they can kick butt, I really want to see them play more in that field. Just a little bit more. It's amazing to watch them. They really get Samuel Rockwell, man of many talents. God bless that man.
Yeah, he's fantastic. I've already talked about how much I enjoyed seeing him in this. You're right. Pacing was you felt it. I feel like it was just the first act. It's like it just took us too long to get to the meat of the movie or to get the plot moving. And so like if we could just get there a little faster, that first act, I felt like we're stuck in that first act a little bit longer than we should have been. But it definitely
you're
picks up second half of the movie. You're following along and we're hitting different locations. There's like a fight sequence every 15 minutes, it feels like. There's just so many fight and action sequences in this movie. There's a lot for people to enjoy. I love the comedy in this movie, and it's very surprising. Honestly, seriously, I expected a couple of plot twists. There were some big ones, some things I saw coming, a lot I didn't. So like I really enjoy a movie. I
Yeah.
give props to the writer, Jason Fuchs, I believe is the writer for this movie, going all out, putting so many twists and turns in this thing to the point that you really cannot predict everything that's going to happen. Literally impossible to do that because you're used to at least a couple of plot twists in the movie,
Yeah.
not this many. So yeah, it's gonna surprise everybody, take everybody completely by surprise. All right, let's get to our geek cast rating. I'm gonna start off here. I'm gonna go with a solid 7. Solid action movie. I feel like the CGI is it's good enough. It's not the best thing I've ever seen by far or anything like that. So I feel like the CGI is good enough. There's no emotional investment on my part as an audience member, so that would elevate it for me. But I do enjoy the story, the acting, the fight sequences, and I love what everybody's asked to do. Bryce Dallas Howard's asked to do so much in this movie, and she delivers throughout the film. So solid. Sorry, I said 7. It's 1 to 5 scale, so 3.5 for me. Brian, what about you, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna give this on a scale of 1 to 5. See, I was thinking 1 to 10, so my brain was a little higher now, but I think
Yeah,
I will probably go with a 4. And because its weakness is the script. Like I don't think the writing is as tight as it should be. And again, sometimes the dialogue feels very clunky, but and it's again pacing issues, but the actors and the chemistry between them is so fun to watch and you get so pulled in. And of course it does what it does best, which is an immense amount of action sequences and scenery, and that is really fun, you know what I'm saying? So it where it falls story wise and dialogue wise and emotionality, like what you're talking about, it makes up in twist turns, in chemistry and action set pieces. And so for that, knowing that that's what I usually get out of these movies, 4 for me, because Matthew Vaughn delivered what he normally delivers, and I couldn't be happier.
Ray, what about you, man?
I'm gonna go with Brian. I'm gonna go with a 4. Same thing. It was very entertaining. The fight sequences, between the two. Uh, the good thing about the movie is the chemistry, like Brian was saying. You can't you could put actors in there, together, but sometimes you can tell when that chemistry is not there. All of them are there, from Samuel Jackson, Cranston. You can't, but like Brian was saying, that's the point. You have good actors that you work with, you bring them back because you know that they gel together, and that's the best part of this movie is the chemistry. But yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm going with a 4.
That brings our overall Geekcast rating to a 3.83. Not too shabby, as I always say. If you
That's
were
pretty good.
lucky enough to be a part of this advanced screening with us, it's because you're following us on social media. If you want to be at an advanced screening, if you're in the San Antonio area or one of the top 3, 4 Texas major cities, we are giving out movie passes almost every week to these advanced studio screenings. If you want to be a part of it, be sure to follow us. Be sure to click on notifications. That way you get notified whenever we're giving out passes to movies like Madam Web, Ghostbusters. What else is coming up pretty soon? Dune. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be a great springtime. Be sure to follow us on social media. And as always, congratulations to everybody who was in attendance. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support. And we'll catch you next time. For the Geekcast, my name is Ted, aka Steady. Joining me on this review for Argylle is the one and only Brian Ortiz.
Thank you very much, everyone. See you soon.
And we also got the Retro Ray.
Good seeing you guys. Also, follow us for our comic reviews as well. We got some cool interviews with artists and writers.
Absolutely. See you guys soon. Peace.